All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we got a phenomenal interview coming your way. We got the one, the only, Atlanta's own legendary individual, MC Shy D. How you doing this evening?
Yo, what's going on, Immortal? I'm just chilling, brother.
I gotta say, first and foremost, Shy, thank you so much in advance for providing us with your time. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been a fan for a long time, so I've been excited for this broadcast.
Oh yeah, definitely. Y'all been promoting it for about a month, I know.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I've been pushing that flyer hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been pushing it hard.
Yeah. So that day has come. So now I can let Canada know what Shy D about.
And I gotta ask you, Shy, like taking it way back to the beginning, man. I have to ask you, what made you actually decide to get into the music industry initially?
Well, basically, I'm from the Bronx, New York, so basically hip hop was in my blood from the beginning because I come from the Bronx, New York, and I'm from the projects of the Bronx River Project, where legendary DJ Africa Bambaataa and the Mighty Mighty Zulu Nation are from also. So at a very young age, Bambaataa used to set his music out in the window and then come in the back of the center. So like I say, hip hop was with me. We talking from 7 years old to right now.
And I have to say, first and foremost, you are one of the most influential MCs out there, man. You really did put Atlanta on the map. If it wasn't for you, there would be no Ghetto Boys, there would be no Jermaine Dupri, and all those legendary individuals. So thank you for everything you did and your contribution to the hip hop culture.
Oh yeah, definitely. I came from New York, and I tried to, I told Atlanta, yo, this was happening, because I came down here, I was breakdancing, they didn't understand that, because, see, I brought breakdancing to Atlanta before people saw the Rocksteady crew, you know what I'm saying? So, like I say, everything was new to them, but then, here we go, a couple of years later, it comes on TV, so they were like, oh man, he was doing that 3 years ago, you know what I'm saying?
So when you first hit Atlanta and you started doing the breakdancing, like, what are some of the comments people actually said to you, like when they first saw you actually breakdancing before they saw it on television?
Yeah, they was like, what is he on the floor doing? Because I'm on the floor, I'm spinning, I'm doing windmills and everything, and they not understanding that. I'm doing my footwork, and they was like, that's a part of dancing? What part of dancing is that? We don't do that down here. So it was real strange to them and very new to them.
And also, in the mid-'80s, you actually secured a record deal with Luther Luke Campbell of Two Live Crew's his record label called Luke Skywalker Records. I have to ask you, how did that record deal come to be for you?
Well, basically, I was with a record company before Luke, a company out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida called Foresight Records. I was with them first, and my man Fresh Kid Ice from the Two Live Crew, he stepped to me. I did a show with the Two Live Crew, and he said, hey, man, Luke like you. He like your music. He wants you to come join our label. So I told him, hey, I got a couple more months on this contract with Foresight, and once I get through with this contract, my contract run out, tell Luke I give him a call, and that's how everything worked out.
And I have to say, though, as well, man, it must have been really cool actually working under an individual like Luke, because he already had the music industry. He was already doing his thing with Two Live Crew, so it must have been really cool just being able to work alongside him.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Luke was the man because, like I say, when I was with Foresight Records, I got a little recognition with Foresight, but when I got with Luke, like you say, Luke was the man. So basically, Luke took me from little Shy D to big Shy D. You know what I'm saying? He really got me out there.
And one thing I did know as well, because I do know, like with George Lucas and all that, George Lucas actually sued Luke Skywalker Records. I have to ask you, were you signed to the label during that time? And if so, did it affect the current work environment for yourself and the other artists currently signed?
No, not at all. Like I say, because what had happened was, Luke, he had already built the name up. Like I say, Luke Skywalker, like you say. So when George Lucas sued him, and he had to change his name to Luke Records, that didn't change nothing because we still had the same music coming out of there, out of Luke Records, and it was the same groups, the Two Live Crew, MC Shy D, Lawan Love, and Created, and etc. You know what I'm saying?
And it's pretty. I'm going to say this for a fact, or Shad. You already know you guys must have been doing something really big if George Lucas caught wind of that. You know what I mean? George Lucas is a huge dude back then, like Star Wars, everything. So the fact that he actually took notice of the name, it just means you guys are making some serious strides in the music industry.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Two Live Crew was a very, very big group, and like I say, with the type of music they was making, I mean, you had to take notice of it. You know what I'm saying? Because they was really bringing porn, bringing porn to the music industry.
Most definitely, they definitely had some controversial tracks, but you know what? Two Live Crew is another group that really did pave the way for others as well.
Definitely, Two Live Crew. That, like I said, I looked up to the Two Live Crew, and I was on the same label with them and everything.
And also, as well, you were a part of the duo PMHI. I have to ask you, tell us a story about the formation and how did yourself and Tricky meet?
Well, basically, it started with me getting in trouble, so I had to go away for a couple of years. So basically, I got with DJ Smurf, and I taught him how to work the drum machine. And I told him, I said, hey, when I get back home, we gonna pick up. You know what I'm saying? Learn the drum machine, learn this SB1200, master it. When I get back home, we gonna pick up where we left off, and then we gonna start a group, and we gonna continue. So that's how everything came about with me, me meeting DJ Smurf and teaching DJ Smurf how to work the drum machine, which his name right now is Mr. Khaled Fall.
And I gotta say, yourself and Tricky, man, you guys have phenomenal chemistry, man. Do you think down the line you guys might put together like another duo record?
Well, I mean, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? It's just music is so different now. You know what I'm saying? It's like a young man's game now. So anybody 30 or older try to put out a song, it's like the public, don't want to hear it. They want to hear the younger guys.
And if you don't mind me asking, we're on that topic. I don't normally ask this kind of question, but I do know that you are like a hip hop pioneer, in my personal opinion. So I have to ask you, what is your opinion on today's music? Personally, I can't call it hip hop, so I'm just gonna say, what's your opinion on today's rap music?
I mean, a lot of older guys like our age think like you do, but I don't think like that because everybody has their era, and I mean I know the type of music these young guys are making people really don't like, but this is the life they grew up with. You know what I'm saying? They had it a little rougher than we did, so they rap about what they live in. You know what I'm saying?
And that's most definitely true. I actually get that because like like I notice the music industry really does go in like sections. You know what I mean? Me personally, I like the '90s hip hop. I'd rather listen to that than any other of the new stuff. In my personal opinion.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. But one thing about me, I'm a DJ also. I was a DJ before I was a rapper, so I mean, you got to be open to music. You can't be a closed-minded DJ. You know what I'm saying? Me being MC Shy D that used to make rap records, it won't be fair to myself, and it won't be fair to the artist that's out now to say, nah, I don't like that, all because I used to be a rapper in the '80s. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Most definitely, it's like you said with a DJ, you really gotta widen your horizons.
Yeah, definitely. And then, Atlanta, I don't know how really Canada is, but Atlanta is very, very ghetto here. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, you got 2 Chainz coming out of here, T.I., Young Jeezy, and the list goes on. And like I said, you see everybody's making like the trap music coming out of the South in Atlanta.
And also, I messaged you, I think it was about a month ago. I would say about a couple weeks ago, actually, when I was promoting the interview, because I ended up getting myself a copy of the Beastie Boys book, and I noticed they implemented a mini graphic novel based upon yourself and the Beastie Boys, an encounter that you guys had while on tour, titled "MC Shy D and a Dozen Eggs." I have to ask you if you could tell our listeners a more in-depth story pertaining to that day you actually shared with the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, we went to I think we was on tour in Virginia, and we went to a Denny's restaurant. It was early in the morning, and I like sunny side up eggs, so I had ordered 12 sunny side up eggs. And when the people brought the food out, they couldn't believe it. The Beastie Boys was bugging out like, "Yo, I know you are not gonna eat all them eggs." And I told them, yeah, and they just thought that was the craziest thing in life, and they never forgot that.
And I gotta say though as well, like was that the only encounter you actually had with the Beastie Boys, and like, and if so or if not, like, what is one of the what is one of the funny moments you share with those guys? Because I knew back in the day the Beastie Boys, they were just three wild kids, man. Like they were really wild guys.
Yeah, they was crazy, man. I mean, we used to be in a hotel. We used to be throwing beer at each other, you know, in the hallway. It was crazy, man. You know, when you was with them, you definitely was gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, they party from sun up to sundown. You know what I'm saying? So you could not be around them and not have fun because, like I say, they was all about having fun. And like I say, we all was having fun because we just used to be just drunk all day and all night.
Hey, that's a life of the road. You know what I mean? As the tour bus is driving, you see a local liquor shop. You go in, get some re-ups, man. You know, it's a life of tour, life of being young and partying. But I think if any of us did that now, man, I think our livers would probably give out on us.
Oh yeah, definitely. But those were great times, and I'll never forget them. And you know, I just thank God I had them. You know.
And I have to say as well, it's pretty cool that they actually implemented that story in their book. Because when I was shifting through it, as everybody knows, the Beastie Boys they really do like pulling gags during interviews. They never really have like real interviews. So I was watching something on, I believe it was Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel was actually promoting the book, and he said like there was a mini graphic novel in it based on you, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy the book, and I want to see that because I do know they sometimes they throw gags at people, right? So I didn't know if that was true. Then when I got the book, I was like, damn, okay, that's actually pretty cool. It was actually a pretty cool graphic novel.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and I'm like I say, I'm glad they even thought about me enough to put me in there. You know.
Most definitely. Before I gotta move on, I gotta say just first and foremost, rest in peace to MCA.
No doubt, MCA. He was, and you wouldn't believe it. He was the most laid back. The wildest was King Ed Rock, and then Mike D. You know.
Yeah, he seemed like half the
Yeah.
time like he was a lot of the interviews I've watched, you know, because I never personally met MCA. I wish I would have had the opportunity to, but you could just tell he was kind of always the one sitting back like the big brother, being like, guys, you guys are crazy, like.
Yeah, that's how he was. He was laid back, but man, King Ed Rock, oh, he was a fool.
And also in 1987, you did a concert with the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper, Heavy D and the Boys, and many others. I have to ask you, if you can remember, can you tell us a bit more about that concert? Because for 1987, that lineup is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, well, basically what it was a tour called the Wipeout Tour with the Fat Boys, and I think they wanted the Two Live Crew too. I don't think Luke wanted to do it, but I told him I'll do it. So I got on that tour, and man, we went everywhere, and it was beautiful, man. Those were fun times then, you know. It was called the Wipeout Tour.
And I have to say, when I was doing the research there for the interview, me and my editor, we were looking through the Instagram, and I saw that poster. I was like, yo, we got to ask about that, because that lineup is through the roof. I wish I could go into a time capsule or a time machine and go back and catch that concert, because that, you know what I mean? Shy D, like Heavy D, man, all, like I must say that right there, yourself and Heavy D would be a phenomenal concert just to see right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Heavy D and the boys, they were super cool too, you know. They was cool. Heavy D, he had all the ladies while we was on the road.
Yeah, I heard other stories from other artists as well that he most definitely was a straight up pimp on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, going back to the DJ Smurf side of things, you did a record with DJ Smurf titled Record Naz. I have to ask you, like, can you tell us the story behind that amazing record? Because personally, that's one of my favorite records that you actually put out.
Well, you know, like I say, I was just coming from the heart, you know, with writing the songs, and like I say, I taught DJ Smurf how to work the drum machine, and he was so incredible on the beats. It's like every time he come up with a beat, I don't do nothing but, you know, I just sit there with my pen and pad, and I just go to work on the songs. You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta say, DJ Smurf is a phenomenal DJ as well, man. You guys did very, very well on that record.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. That guy, like I say, it's funny we calling him DJ Smurf because his new name, I don't know if you're familiar with it, is Mr. College Park now.
I actually did not know that. I always knew him as DJ Smurf.
Yeah, College Park is the guy that put out the Yin Yang Twins and Soldier Boy.
Oh, damn. Okay. I think I need to get up on my
Yeah,
times here. To be honest with you, I did not know that.
yeah. So he be on Instagram a lot. He still does a lot of things with the DJing and stuff, or DJing live on Instagram and everything. But yeah, his new name is Mr. Khaled Park.
And as for recognize, I noticed as well that you've been putting re-releasing a lot of your older records remastered. Is that one of the records you remastered as well?
I haven't done that one yet, but I'm definitely getting ready to get to it. You know, so far I have done the greatest hits, MC Shot D greatest hits. I've done the Gotta Be Tough album, and I've done the Coming Correct in '88 album. So the next album I think I'm gonna do is the Don't Sweat Me album, and then I'm gonna do Recognize.
And if you don't mind me asking, when we're still on the topic of the remastered records, yeah, where can our listeners actually snag themselves a copy of those remastered records? And of course, do you have any hard copies available for the old school listeners that really do love CD format?
No, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I want to get it, but I haven't had a big request on it, so I haven't pressed any up yet. You know, but it's available on iTunes, all the formats. You know, what is it? Spotify, Tidal, you know, Tidal, whatever. You know, it's on all the streaming platforms out there that they can get all these remastered albums.
Most definitely, and I gotta say, it's kind of sad with the whole CD thing. You know, not a lot of people really do want CDs anymore. But people, in my personal opinion, I really think people are missing out because I remember back in the day, you can get a CD, go to a local record shop, pick out one of your favorite artist's CD. You open it up, and when you're sitting there listening, you can learn the lyrics from the booklet. You can read the thank you notes. With a digital copy, it's just not the same. You know, yeah, you can hold your phone and look at the album artwork, but you know what I mean. Nothing's better than actually reading the booklet.
Yeah, because that's how I was when I was young. I had to know who mixed. When I hear albums that was real clear and stuff, I was like, well, who mixed it? Who mixed this album? Who mastered the album? You know, and I was very. That's I used to always do that when I was younger. But now, like you say, don't nobody got no patience no more. They just want to hear the music. You know.
And then, like I know, like you said, times change. But in my personal opinion, man, I just wish like CDs would come back for a little bit, just like vinyl did. You know, just give us about a year or two of more CDs, so we can soak it in a little bit.
Yeah, they disappeared so quick. How long did they stick around for?
I know CDs, they were obviously be like they obviously first came out in the '80s type thing, but I really stopped noticing the production of CDs like a couple years ago. Like in my local hometown, we got like a Walmart and whatnot, but we had a CD shop till I think it was 2004, but that went under. But as for like CDs in Walmart, they dried up quickly. I think 3 years ago, you could be able to get, say if Public Enemy dropped a record or Wu Tang Clan, like the big hip hop groups or artists, you could find the CD there. And now it's like they have nothing. They're dried right out. Everything's all switched to Blu-ray. That whole section is gone now.
Oh yeah. It really has changed. It really has changed musically. You know, so I mean, everything is streaming now. You know, and I don't understand it, but it's the new way of life, so we got to roll with it.
Most definitely. And also in 2014, you took part in the documentary titled "The Untold Story of Atlanta's Rise in the Rap Game." I have to ask you, what was it like taking part in that project? And of course, how does it feel being recognized as one of the artists that really did put Atlanta, Georgia on the map?
Oh, it was a beautiful thing, you know. Even that's Ludacris and Shaka Zulu, his manager, they executive produced that. So DJ Toomp gave me a call and said that they had wanted me in it. So it was a beautiful thing. I definitely appreciate them calling me, you know, recognizing me, because for a long time they were starting hip hop. I mean, you know, really like making it look like Outkast started hip hop in Atlanta. You know, they wasn't going back further enough. They were starting at Outkast and going up. So that, you know, that was kind of leaving me out of the picture. So I definitely appreciate them, you know, giving me a call on that.
Most definitely, and what I really always want to tell people as well that is listening to this, you know, always remember who came first, because if it wasn't for individuals like yourselves, like I said earlier on in the interview, you know what I mean, there would be no Jermaine Dupri, there'd be no Ghetto Boys type thing, right? So just, you know what I mean, like I said, always remember who came first.
Oh yeah, definitely. So like I say, when when Ludacris and them reached out to me for that, so that was a beautiful thing, you know. And then I'm not familiar. Are you up on the one we did for Netflix?
The Hip Hop Evolution.
Yeah, that one there. You know, they did an episode on Atlanta, and they got me in that one also.
I have to say though, like I watch a little bit of Hip Hop Evolution. I haven't had the opportunity to actually like finish off the entire series because I really like watching it in blocks. That way I can really soak it in. If I watch something too long, my attention span just kind of goes the other way no matter what it is. So I try and take to watch in increments. That way I can really soak in all the information.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they definitely did that one. So you got to check it out. It's Hip Hop Evolution Season 3, Atlanta, the Dirty South.
Well, I'm most definitely gonna check that out the moment we get up off the air because I got Netflix and it's there, so I'm not gonna miss that opportunity. I'm definitely gonna check that episode out.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
And also, April 11th, I noticed you posted on your Facebook page saying DJ MC Shy D coming soon. If you don't mind me asking, what made you decide to venture into the DJing side of things? And of course, where can our listeners come see you DJ live, COVID-19 permitting, of course?
Well, basically, like I said, I was a DJ before I was a rapper, you know. So basically, like when I got too old for the rap thing, I fell back to, you know, DJing around here locally in Atlanta, you know. So like I said, I've been doing that now for maybe about 15 years. So yeah, I got back into the first love that I loved in hip hop was the DJing. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, and I was watching a little interview clip there as well. I think it was like Yo MTV Raps Atlanta. You were with another individual in like a diner type thing, and you were saying that you DJ'd in two different spots. I think one was I forgot the name of the joints where you DJ'd at, but did you still do DJ at those two those two spots out in Atlanta?
Yeah, well, I'm at one of them now because the other clubs since the COVID-19 haven't brought us back. That's Bigelow's. They haven't brought the DJs back at Bigelow's, but I'm back at Dudley's DJing. That's in Decatur, Georgia. It's called Dudley's.
That's what's up. If you don't me asking though, because I have listeners all over the world and whatnot, and I know we do have some listeners in the Atlanta area. So if you don't me asking, when about did you hit the stage? That way, if our listeners, are listening right now, whether it's live or on demand, they can actually come see the legendary DJ MC Shy D perform and scratch.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm in there. You know, I'm in there every Friday and Saturday from 8 to 2 doing my thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Shadi. I right now I'm in Canada. You know, I wish I was out in the Atlanta area, man. I would love to come see you scratch.
Oh yeah, I'm in there doing my thing. If you ever come to Atlanta, you know, give me a call. You know what I'm saying, and we'll hook up. You know, you can come check me out.
Hey man, I can't say no to that. I think I'd be stupid if I was to say no about that. But also, 1 month after you made that post, on May 8th, you actually did an IG versus battle with Raheem the Dream. I have to ask you, what was that experience like? And of course, who took home the W?
Well, everybody's saying it was a tie. You know, and basically, we saw, it came about, I don't know if you're familiar with an artist down here. His name is DJ Kizzy Rock.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, he did a versus with another artist down here named Kilo Ali. So Kizzy Rock and Kilo did a versus against each other. So once they did that, and Kizzy Rock reached out to me and asked me would I be interested in doing one with Raheem, I told him let's make it happen. So that's how that came about.
And I have to ask you one thing, because I noticed a lot of individuals have been doing like IG concerts and live stream concerts and whatnot. Like, is it difficult really doing? Because I know you obviously you've sold out arenas, stadiums and whatnot. So, is it really a different is it a different vibe to really go in there and just be on IG live? Like, is it hard to actually do that performance without any fans actually there?
Yeah, it's real crazy because when I used to do the concerts back in the days, the people motivate you, the audience, you know what I'm saying? Your fans out there in the audience, they motivate you. So if I'm on stage and I'm doing my thing and I see people, you know, really rocking with me, that make my energy go up 10 times higher. But like you said, when you're doing it on Zoom or, you know, and there's no fans there, you know, you really can't get into it like you would if it was actually a live concert.
And then I do want to say quickly, I really do hope this COVID-19 stuff really does get wrapped up quickly, man, because it's really hurting the music industry for artists like yourselves, man. You know, me personally, I'm a fan and I miss going to concerts. You know what I mean? If you really don't, what I look at it as, you really don't appreciate what you have until you can't have it anymore. So I gotta say, I really do hope. I want to tell everybody, wear a mask, stay home. Let's wrap this up so we can get back to living our normal lives.
Oh yeah, but people, I mean, they just seem like they can't stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay in the house so this thing could drop, you know, and go away, so we can get back, like you said, to normalcy. But people just don't want to stay up in this house, you know.
I say at the end of the day, I don't blame them, but when you see the COVID cases go up and now it's going into 2021 and we're still pretty much a square one, it's like, come on, something has to give. You know what I mean? Lock yourself in the house or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because if not, we gonna go all the way into 21 doing the same thing that we're doing now in 20. You know what I'm saying?
And also, aside from you actually, being a DJ and you know what I mean, being an MC, I also noticed as well that you're going into the manager side of things as well. You are currently managing an artist called Keto the Great. I have to ask you, how did you guys actually get together? And of course, where can our listeners actually check out your artist?
Well, Keto is funny. A good friend of mine down here, Keto is his son. So Keto had, just got out of prison. So my buddy, a friend of mine, asked me if he put him in the studio, could I manage him? I said, yeah, put him in the studio. I said, but the music got to be halfway decent. So he put Keto in the studio, and then they presented the music to me, and I kind of liked it. You know what I'm saying? So I told him, yeah, I'll give it a shot and see what we could do with him, see could we blow him up. So right now, he just completed a video, so we're in the process of editing that video so we can get him out there so people can see him visually, because, like I say, they just hearing the music, but they haven't, visually seen him yet.
And do you think being a manager is something you want to do like full time as well? Would you ever consider taking on like other clients as well, like if they had the talent, just like Keto?
Yeah, definitely. But you said the key word: if they have the talent.
Most definitely, because I'm gonna be honest there, Shady. I don't want to count anybody out, but even being a DJ, and because I DJ myself as well, and as well as I'm a radio DJ, so I get a lot of inquiries. And I'm not going to put anybody out. I'm not going to say any names, but there is some people you sit back and you scratch your head and be like, man, like, you have to be professional, but at the end of the day, like, I can't play this. You know what I mean? So I do get exactly what you mean. You have to have that talent.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing. That's one thing about me. I can't affiliate myself if the artist is not talented, because that's a bad look on me. People say, hey, he was Shy D. He made good music. Why is he messing with these janky artists? You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you've worked with like the Beastie Boys. You worked with like Heavy D. You know what I mean? You were signed to Luther Luke Campbell, and then you can't go like managing a guy that literally sounds like he's mumbling with bubble gum in his mouth. You know what I mean? It just doesn't match up properly.
Yeah, it definitely do not. You know what I'm saying?
But I gotta say, before we move off the Keto the Great side of things, I want to let you know, when you sent me his music, I placed those into the station's rotation, and I actually had listeners calling into the station asking me who he was, because they really did enjoy the music. So I gotta say, his music is definitely hitting here in Canada and getting some positive results.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. I definitely need people to go download that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, if we get enough hits and stuff, maybe we can, once this COVID go away, we could take a trip up there, and I could bring them up there and perform.
Hey, most definitely. I think Canada would most definitely need some real hip hop. Like, we get some good concerts down here, but we only get like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube. We get like that, like maybe once every second year, but we don't get like legends like yourself down here. So I think that would definitely be good, not only for myself to see you guys perform live, but also for our country as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I came to Canada back in the early '90s, late '80s. I came to something called Fort Erie, Canada.
Okay, that sounds right. I think that's actually north of Ontario.
Okay, because I know Only thing I can remember was we landed in Buffalo, New York. I did 2 shows in Buffalo, New York, and then we drove into Canada.
So if you don't mind me asking, what's the town again? If you don't mind me asking.
Fort Erie.
Oh, Fort Erie. Yeah, that's actually. I believe that is actually. I believe it's a small town in Canada. I actually just googled it. It's up near Fort Erie. Yeah, it says it's Niagara region, so it's up near Niagara Falls.
Yeah, that's where it was because the promoter took us to Niagara Falls and everything.
And I gotta say, I hope you enjoyed Niagara Falls. I personally haven't had the opportunity to go in my lifetime, and I'm here in Canada, so that just proves I don't get out much. But I heard it's very, very beautiful on our side here in Canada.
Oh yeah, it was super cold up there. I also remember that.
But I gotta ask you, Shy D, like, what's next for you, other than like venturing into the manager side of things and you remastering your old records and DJing in the clubs out in Atlanta? Like, what's next for you? Is there anything else I missed during this interview? Anything else you still want to promote? We still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves.
No, basically, like I say, I appreciate you, promoting the Tito the Great for me, playing that for me. So, as far as any future Shy D songs, I don't think that's possible. I mean, I would make, like, if any artist reach out to me and want me to do a feature on their song, I mean, I'm willing to do that. But as far as me going in the studio and making another MC Shy D album in 2021, it'll never happen.
But I just want to touch base on that. I just want to say, since even though you just said you're not making no more records, I gotta say thank you for the years of amazing records. Like I used to, me personally, I used to have all your old records. Due to unforeseen circumstances, they got sold, not by me unfortunately, but I just have to say, Shy D, thank you for the years of music, man. Like you really did help not only myself but a lot of individuals through some difficult times. So I just got to throw that out there and just tell you how much us fans really appreciate your craft.
Oh yeah, I appreciate the people accepting it, because like I say, back when we was doing hip hop, it was for the love of it. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't really doing it for the money. The money was gonna come, but we was doing it for the art of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely. You know what I mean? Like you were doing it because you had love, you had the heart for it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you made money, you didn't care as long as you got to do what you love to do day in and day out.
That's right. It was for the culture of it, the love and the culture of it. That's one thing I do notice about the newer groups today. It seems like they just in it for the money.
And Shy D, right before we wrap things up, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the radio station, just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, and of course your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything Shy D if they're not already doing so.
Okay, well definitely I'd like to give a shout out to Canada. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I've been to Canada, many, many years, so I would definitely love to come up here. But everything, like my Facebook page, I have the real MC Shy D page, but I really don't be on that. My main page I be on Facebook is Thomas Jones. Thomas, Thomas, Jones. That's my last name. Thomas is my middle name. So that's my main Facebook page. And then on Instagram, it is MC Shy D. And on Twitter, it's MC Shy D, MCSHYD. And that's about it.
And I gotta say, Shy D, thank you so much again. I most definitely hope you have a wonderful night. And most definitely stay safe out there in Atlanta, Georgia.
I appreciate it, DJ Immortal. Take it easy, brother.
You as well, man. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks a lot.